Thanks for staying with us. It is not too late for Southeast Texas business owners to benefit from the BP settlement. Provost Humphrey Sr. and equity partner Bryan Blevins joins us with information on how you may qualify. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First, give us a little background on you as an attorney here.
Sure. Bryan Blevins. I'm with the Provost Humphrey Law Firm working with Walter Humphrey. I've been practicing for 21 years, all here in Southeast Texas. Mixed practice of personal injury work and some commercial work, and I've been really excited about the opportunity to do BP work with local businesses in our area. Very good.
Now, give us the particulars on the BP settlement.
Sure. Obviously, we know that in April 20th of 2010, the Deepwater Horizon well is where the spill occurred. It dumped tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil in the Gulf of Mexico. We were fortunate in Southeast Texas that we didn't get a lot of that oil onto our shores. Most of the oil ended up in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. But there were thousands of lawsuits that were filed throughout the Gulf Coast, and those were consolidated in a case in Louisiana. And that is the place where the settlement was forged earlier in February, roughly, of 2012. And that settlement is what's creating opportunities for businesses, even in our community, where the oil did not actually reach.
What are some of those opportunities, and how can business owners qualify? What are some of the qualifications?
The key to this settlement, and what a lot of people don't understand, is that it is unique in that it does not require any specific evidence of how your loss was caused by the spill. If you think about it, the spill was such a dynamic and extensive event that people were moving in and out of areas, moving to areas to work, businesses were being affected, tourism was going up and down. And so you have such a wide range of potential causes of action that ultimately the purpose of the settlement was, we don't want to litigate this for decades. We want to reach an agreement where we can resolve claims in a fair and efficient fashion. And so what the settlement allows for people to do is to substitute evidence of how the spill caused your loss. Instead, they've substituted a calculation based on gross revenues. And so any business, and this is the part people need to understand, is that virtually any business in Galveston, Chambers, Jefferson, or Orange counties can qualify for a claim. The settlement, from a geographic perspective, covers those 4 counties only in the state of Texas.
Okay.
It then covers the entire states of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and the coastal counties of Florida. If you have a business, or if you have a business location that is in one of those affected areas, you can file a claim.
So that pretty much includes everybody who is a business owner here.
It is.
So what has been the response, or do you find that people just aren't aware of this opportunity?
I think there was an initial, particularly down along the coast, people involved in the fishing and the shrimping and the oyster businesses. I think there was a great response there. Any business, seafood restaurants, the stores that carry seafood products, that was sort of the initial surge of clients because there was a direct relationship between what was going on in the Gulf and what was occurring here.
We're back with more Southeast Texas Weekly, and we're continuing our conversation with Provost Humphrey Sr. and equity partner Bryan Blevins, who is explaining how small businesses can participate in the BP settlement.
In terms of the opportunity for the businesses, that opportunity is extended quite a good bit. There was a deadline that a lot of people heard about in November, but that was a deadline to opt out of the settlement. If you did not want to participate, then you filed an opt-out by that time. There is a current deadline that's actually running on the 19th, and that deadline, though, is for claims that are already excluded from the settlement, either geographically or that banking, financing, or insurance type claim, and they have to make presentment of their claim to BP. But in our area, because again, proving how the spill would have caused your loss in our area where the oil didn't even get here is so difficult that really the best alternative is going to be for people to participate in the settlement. And currently that deadline does not run until the middle of 2014. So we have well over a year.
Very good. Now, what are some of the common questions that you're getting from business owners as they seek to to discover if they can qualify to be a part of this?
The number one reaction that I get when I talk to people is, well, that doesn't apply to me. Well, it does. And that's the opportunity that has to be taken advantage of. Well, then the next question is, but how do I prove that it caused my loss? Well, great news, you don't have to. And then it's, well, how would I prove that? How would I prove my loss? And the way that we do that is we focus on monthly P&Ls. Because from that document, usually for most businesses, you can establish the gross revenue pattern, and then we can use those documents to calculate a claim value. You can go on the web, and there is what's called a deep water, Horizon Deep Water Spill. If you put that in, the first thing that's going to pop up is the Spill Settlement Facility website. There's a lot of information there. If you go to Provost Umphrey, www.provosthumphrey.com, we have information about it. But generally, what we're seeing is, again, people picking up the phone, calling a lawyer, calling your accountant. Many accountant firms are pretty knowledgeable of what's going on now as well. The way the system is set up, if you can digest 1,400 pages of settlement documentation, which is what the settlement is, you could figure out how to submit your own claim. But there are deadlines, and there are deficiencies that have to be cured within certain periods. If you don't have a standard claim, then you need help understanding what you have to do next. If your claim is appealed, then you have to know what to do. There's a lot of things that go beyond just submitting the paperwork in order that you need specific expertise.
All right, well, we are out of time, but we appreciate all of the information. Bryan Blevins with Provost Umphrey. We appreciate you, and we thank you for watching. This has been Southeast Texas Weekly.